Hello and welcome. Welcome to the MBLEX review course, where we are here ready to prepare to positively, confidently pass that MBLEX. My name is Jody Scholes. I am your instructor for the MBLEX review course. And today we're talking about client assessment. So client assessment is 17 questions on your exam, an average of 17 questions, and it has to do with assessment, reassessment, and treatment planning. You'll also be asked about special populations. What in the world are special populations? Well, we'll cover a bunch of that stuff today. Wanted to let you know our class goes down in 3 rounds. Three. And so part 1 is going to be a test-taking strategy. Part 2, the majority of our class, is the learning. Client assessment, finding out all those juicy details that you need to craft your amazing massage session. And then part 3, we dissect questions, showing you, demonstrating to you how to approach these questions on the MBLEX when you're actually in the testing center. Dissecting those questions, eliminating 2 wrong answers, giving you some practice with these tools that will absolutely support you while taking your test. And if you've listened to me before, you'll know that it is about way more than the learning. It's going to take way more than the learning for you to successfully pass this test. It's going to take some test-taking strategies. It's going to take some tools in your toolbox about how to tackle these questions, because they ain't easy. They're tough and tricky. Yeah. But let's briefly talk about a test-taking strategy I want to share with you today, and then we'll move directly into our learning. The test-taking strategy is to simulate as much as possible what's going to be happening on your game day. So control what you can control on game day, but very specifically, when you decide what time of day you're going to be taking the MBLEX, I'd like you to consider taking your practice exams at the same time of day. So if you're taking your MBLEX at 12:15 in the afternoon, I'd like you to consider taking your practice exam at 12:15 in the afternoon. Get yourself ready ahead of time. Have your breakfast, do your workout, check in at work, doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing on the day that you take your MBLEX. Why bother? Why bother is because we want to establish some familiarity, some comfort, some routine around taking your test-taking day. And this will add to the ease of the day. So in the big picture, we control what we can control on game day. But one of the very simple things that you can control is what time you take your practice exams. You can figure out what time of day are you at your best. Do you get a little sleepy in the late afternoon? Don't schedule your MBLEX for 4 o'clock. Maybe that's the only time that's available. All right then, let's train your brain to be more alert at 4 o'clock. But that is my test-taking strategy for you this morning, this afternoon, or if you're listening later, this evening, to simulate the time of day that you'll be taking the MBLEX when you take your practice exams. Excuse me. So simulate that time of day and simulate your experience. If you are within 30 days of taking your test, it's time to put Mr. Google to sleep. Time to cover the notes, to have blank walls around you, and to simulate, to pretend. To simulate means to pretend. To pretend that you are actually taking the test. Give it a try. It's great practice, and it's great game day prep for the day you're taking your NBLEX. Are you ready to do some learning? Ready to talk client assessment? All righty, here we go. Welcome to client assessment. I want to say a quick thank you to Laura Allen, Sharice Sonamo. These are two ladies who are masterful at client assessment. And a few of these, a little bit of this content has been taken from the book, Plain and Simple Guide. I know a number of you have David's book as well. Excellent. Little intense, in my opinion. But wanted to just do a shout out to say that my content does come from other sources, and I love to give them credit. So what will be on the client assessment? What do you need to know? And how do I know what you need to know? Well, I know what you need to know because the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards puts out a content outline. I will attach it to our video this afternoon, to our recorded video, so you can click it and see it. But it gives you an outline of each category that's on the NBLEX. And specifically, you'll see here on the screen, this is what you'll be tested on. So how to do a proper client consultation, understanding the verbal intake, the health history form, understanding what is a visual assessment compared to a postural assessment, and also the palpation assessment. We're going to be talking a bit about range of motion. We're going to be talking about your ability to use your clinical reasoning. Oh my gosh, isn't that a horrible word? Clinical reasoning? Some people just like whoop, freak out about it. But it's not that bad. It actually just means rational thinking, to be honest with you. So using your abilities to put in a bunch of information and spit out a treatment plan. Good news is the treatment plan usually changes because clients never tell you the whole story. They're like, no, it's my shoulders and my neck. Concentrate on that. And you do one glide down that spine. And you get to that L5S1 region and you're like, damn. And all of a sudden you ask, is that tender? Yeah. Oh man, I didn't even know it was tender in there. Yup. Little bit of an adjustment to the treatment plan. Gonna need to spend some time. So that right there, what I just outlined to you is clinical reasoning. That's all it is your ability to take in new information and adjust your plan. You got that. All right. It also includes your ability to rule out contraindications, to set goals for the treatment, realistic goals, to evaluate as you're in the session. How's this session going? Do I need to spend more time here? Do I need to include hamstrings as far as this lower back is concerned? How am I formulating my treatment strategy? And there are many of you who have English as a second language. And so if there is a word that I say that you don't understand, jot it down, make a note of it. Formulation of the treatment strategy. What is that? That is a fancy way to say in English, how are we attacking the treatment? How are we changing our treatment? What formula, you see in this word it says formula. What is the formula? How are we forming, in fact, even just the first 4 letters, how are we forming our treatment strategy? So the formulation of the treatment strategy is, what's our plan? And then how might we have to change that? Let's talk first about the client assessment. And earlier, before we started recording, I offered my opinion on the initial client interview. And the initial client interview, buckle up, you're not going to like this. If you are seeing a client for the first time, it might take up to 15 minutes. What? That's impossible. I don't have that kind of time. Maybe, maybe not. I'm just saying, with your first visit with a client, that initial client interview could go a little long. It doesn't always go long, but if they have a complicated health history, don't you want to know? I mean, you don't need to know like the last 15 surgeries they've had, or maybe you do. So the order of our client assessment starts with the interview. It goes to a visual assessment, and then if necessary, a palpation assessment. This is just a logical flow. So what has to do with the health history form? So on your client's initial visit, they fill out the intake form and you review it with them. And I like you to have it either in paper or in a digital form on a tablet for every session. The client is not going to tell you if there's been a minor change in the health history. Not going to do it. Yep. It's up to us to investigate. It's up to us to be the detective. So we do this health history form. We analyze that with our clients. We review any noteworthy surgeries, current diagnoses of cancer or chronic illness, any pathologies like diabetes, MS. These types of things will show up on your health history form. Then we've been able, while we're talking to them, to do a visual analysis. Are there any things that are off? We'll talk a little bit more about visual analysis in a moment. We might even want to do a postural analysis. You see on the slide there, it says gait analysis. We're not going to get to gait analysis today, but just know it exists. Palpation assessment, and then maybe any special tests that your client may require to further assess where they are in their state of injury, pain, discomfort, dysfunction. And the majority of massage therapists are not trained in taking vital signs. If you are, bonus. You must have some other type of training. So if you are trained in how to take vital signs, you may want to be considering research literacy. Could you take their vital signs before and after a session? What a concept. That would be super cool. You could totally track if their blood pressure was high and then low, if their heart rate was elevated and then more calm. Research. You would be gathering data, measurable data. Just a thought. That's a very detailed client assessment, and it would mostly be done in a medical office or a chiropractor's office, but it's a consideration. Consider the feel and the flavor of the treatments that you'd like to deliver. This is what a traditional health history form looks like. And it's something your client will fill out with a pen and paper, or they'll fill it out electronically. Depends how you'd like to access your data. But as I've said in other client assessment videos, I love to let you know there is gold in the client interview. Gold. There's an old cartoon that says, there's gold and then there are hills. There's gold. Let's talk about general contraindications. The easiest definition of a general contraindication is, will it make the condition worse? Will it make the condition worse? Or will it endanger the therapist? Here's some examples of general contraindications, meaning unfortunately you cannot do the massage. So if they have a high fever, they have flu-like symptoms, it's systemic. It's a general contraindication. 48 to 72 hours after chemo, your clients feel like doo-doo. They don't feel good. There's a lot of medicine in their body that's not making them feel good. General contraindication. Nausea, vomiting, a general contraindication. Concussion, high-risk pregnancy, COVID, uncontrolled high blood pressure, all systemic. Now, briefly, a concussion, how do we know if someone has a concussion? Maybe they're just coming to you because they have a headache. We have to ask during the client interview, do you know what causes your headaches? Headaches is one sign of concussion, blurry vision, impaired memory, dizziness, lightheadedness. Sometimes the client has passed out after a strong blow to the head, not being able to sleep. These are all signs that there's a possibility of a concussion. And a concussion is a general contraindication. It's a brain injury. They need to be cleared by a doctor. All right. Time to dissect some questions. All right, we've gone through a lot of client assessment today. How you feeling? How's that brain feeling? You feeling ready to roll? Ready to go? Yeehaw. Yeah. If you're saying yeehaw, let's do it. You've got some test taking stamina because we're an hour and 10 minutes into this. Good job. All right. Ready? What does SOAP stand for? These are your treatment notes. I am going to check in the chat. Okay. So what does SOAP stand for? A, subject, object, assess, and plan. B, subjective, objective, assessment, and protocol. C, subjective, objective, analysis, and procedure. D, subjective, objective, assessment, and plan for future treatment. All right, Latrice. It's on point. Careful. Yolanda got it. Mati got it. Jan, you got it. We're 50-50 on this, you guys. Brienne, you're on point. All right, be careful. Let's get rid of one wrong answer because we know that's the best way to get to the right answer. So let's get rid of one wrong answer. It's not protocol. Protocol is not the P. I am splitting hairs here. Oh, JJ, make a choice. All right. Yeah. Okay, there's a real strong indicator here. There's one part of this answer that makes it the best answer. Ready? Best answer? Letter D. Oh, wait a minute. A is so close. Half of you guys said A. And A is so close. You got all the right words. But what makes D the best answer is that it is exactly what you learned in school. Subjective. The subject is the person, the noun. Subjective is what they said. Object is a thing. Objective is what I see, what I observe, on my objective opinion. Assessment, and then technically P is your treatment plan, your plan for future treatment. This is exactly what SOAP stands for. All right. Yes. A says object, not objective. You're right. Good. Yes. Aita, yes. Good, Jay. Good. JJ, yes. I know. That's why we do this now. Because sometimes it's just a tiny little bit of difference that makes for the best answer. Ready? A protrusion of the intestines through the inguinal wall or inguinal canal is called what? A protrusion of the intestines through the inguinal wall or the inguinal canal is called what? A femoral hernia. B, an inguinal hernia. C, an inguinal blood clot, a deep vein thrombosis. D, a femoral artery blood clot. Oh, good, Catherine, good. Yolanda, yep. Jan, Patia, JJ. Mayor, yes. Mati, yes. Valencia, yes. Valicia, yes. Brian, yes. Good, Brian. Mimi, you got it. Ayana, yes. Aita, yes. Ren, yeah. Miss V, you're in. Yup. Let's get rid of one wrong answer. We know it's not a femoral blood clot. We're not talking about a blood clot. We're talking about a protrusion of the intestines. And I'll bet you 30 minutes ago, this question may have been a challenge for you. But every one of you got it right. Best answer, inguinal hernia. Woo-hoo! Yes, there are different types of hernias. This one, when we're talking about the intestines coming through that inguinal wall, the muscles right there, or the inguinal canal, it's called an inguinal hernia. Basically, if something is protruding through the muscle wall or its intestines protruding through something, yes, inguinal hernia. Next question. Which of these are a general contraindication for massage? Which of these are a general contraindication to massage? A, psoriasis. B, high fever. C, cancer. D, a badly sprained ankle, black and blue with swelling. Opening chat. Catherine, Mayor, Aite, Felicia. Yeah, Maya, yep. Yolanda got it. Brianna got it. Brianne, you got it. Jan, yep. Patia, uh-huh. Mati, yes. Ayana, yes. Mimi, guess again. Greta, Ren, yes. All right, let's get rid of one wrong answer. We know that cancer is actually not a general contraindication. There's only a specific time where we can't massage a person with cancer right after chemo. So we know that's not general contraindication. Best answer? Boom. Letter B. High fever. It is systemic. Psoriasis. Local contraindication. Avoid the area. Badly sprained ankle, local contraindication. Avoid the area. Good job. Okay. What is the form of a question that will only give you the answer of yes or no? During our health intake, we can ask 3 different types of questions. One type of question, one of those 3, will give us just a yes or no answer. Sometimes that's all we need is a yes or no answer. Can I work on your glutes? Yes or no? Okay. Answers. Open-ended question, true or false question. When we ask clients about the 1 to 10 pain scale. D, the close-ended questions with a short answer. Okay, I can't wait to looking at the chat. All right, I know we're going to be all over the map here. Okay. All right, we're batting 1,000. No one's gotten the answer. All right, we're going to start over. Ooh. Greta. What is the form of a question that will only give you the answer of yes or no? Open-ended, true or false? When we ask a question about the pain scale, closed-ended question with a short answer. Let's eliminate one wrong answer. We know no one chose letter C. So you all knew that was a pain question. So we have open, closed, pain. Those are the 3 types of questions. So open, closed, pain. And lots, there's only one person who I saw so far who had their, Felicia just nailed it. All right. Ayana got there. Brienne got there. Good. Felicia, good. Brienne. Yolanda got it. Good. Don't be fooled. Winnie, you got it. Ms. V, I like your closed, but it's got to be more specific. Best answer? The true or false. What? Why? Why isn't it closed-ended? Closed-ended with a short answer. I am looking specifically for yes or no. The same as true or false. True is yes, false is no. Wow. Closed-ended. This is our most closed-ended question. Closed-ended usually means one-word answer. I said short answer. You knew it wasn't the pain scale, and eventually you knew it wasn't open-ended. How are you feeling today? Open-ended question. Blah, 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 blah. How are you feeling today? Right? I sometimes need a yes or no answer. I can work on your glutes. True or false? I can work on your glutes. Yes or no? You do not want any work on your feet. True or false? You don't want any work on your feet. Yes or no? Closed-ended. Sometimes we need that really specific answer to have clear communication. So you will go out on a date with me. No. Okay. Closed-ended question. Okay, we have 2 more questions and then we're done for today. So hang in there. Your client has had an abnormal response to a heat treatment. Where will that be documented? This is client assessment. This is a review. Your client has an abnormal, not normal, abnormal response to a heat treatment, where will that be documented? A, at the front desk, so the receptionist can inform the therapist if a different therapist works on the client. B, near the hot rocks or the hot pads, where they're kept, near the heat equipment. C, on a sticky note in their chart. D, in the soap notes of his or her chart. Oh, look at this. We got answers. We got answers. All right. Brienne nailed it. Catherine, yes. Petita, yes. Alicia, yes. Jan, you got it. Latrice, Carmilla, yes. JJ, right. Yolanda, yep. Ms. V nailed it. Mimi, yep. Aite, yes. Mati, yes. Not C, right? Exactly, because it's gonna fall off. Greta nailed it. Mayor Ren, yes. Yes. Ayana, good. Good. Let's get rid of one wrong answer. We know it's not the front desk because that's confidential. That's not confidential, right? It's a violation. Confidentiality. Best answer? You guys nailed it. Boom. Indeed. Letter D. Best answer. Now you might go ahead and put a note near the hot rocks. You might go ahead and put a note on the sticky chart. But in lieu of all of that, yeah, exactly. Near the hot rocks? No. Again, confidentiality, right? So this is the best answer. That is why it's an example of the best answer. We got one more question, then we can wrap it up. All right. That's it. That's a wrap. Breathe a little, breathe. Breathe a little breath. Breathe a little breath. Yes. And excellent, excellent work hanging in there today, you guys. We had in there. And this longer class is strategic. Because right now, if you're feeling tired, that's a great indicator. We still need to build some more test taking stamina. Yeah. And if you're raring to go and be like, keep going with those questions, that's a good sign that your stamina is where it needs to be or beyond. So we're going to just sign off for this recording. I'm going to hang out for about another few minutes to answer some questions. And want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to the recording. Thank you for being in class. Thank you for making time today for learning stuff that you may never, ever have to use again after the MBLEX. Yeah, my name is Jody Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEX review course. I look forward to seeing you again in a live class or in one of our recordings.